You find it on a Tuesday, not in a laboratory, not in a government facility, in the garage of a house you just bought for $83,000 in a town nobody has heard of. The previous owner died with no family. The estate sale left this one thing behind because nobody knew what it was. You almost sell it for scrap. Then you look closer. It is a car. Or it was a car once. Something has been done to it that no mechanic you know could explain. The dashboard has instruments that match no vehicle ever manufactured. The engine contains components with no name in any language you speak. You spend 3 weeks reading about it before you touch anything. Then one night, you sit in the driver's seat, and without meaning to, you are somewhere else. 30 years earlier, a street you recognize from old photographs, a machine that should not exist. You are 28 years old and terrified and completely alone with the most significant discovery in human history. You drive back. You sit in your garage until the sun comes up. You make your first decision and then your first mistake. You go back to the year your father lost his business. He was 41. You were 9. You remember the exact day because it was the last day you saw him cry. Once, in the kitchen, when he thought you were asleep. You heard him through the wall. You never forgot that sound. You go back 3 months before that day. You find his business partner. You tell him something only someone who already knew the outcome could know. The partner makes a different decision. The business survives. You return to the present. Your father never lost everything at 41. He built something. He succeeded. You expected to feel relief. Instead, you find a man you barely recognize. A man who never broke, never rebuilt, never learned what he was made of. He is harder now, quieter. He does not hug you the way he used to. He does not need to. He never had a reason to. The version of him that existed before needed you. This one does not. You go back a second time to prevent your mother's accident, a car collision that took her ability to walk for 2 years. In the original timeline, those 2 years were the hardest of her life. They were also, somehow, some of the closest years your family ever had. Your father drove her to therapy every morning. You made dinner most nights. Your sister read to her on weekends. You go back and you stop the accident and you return to a present where your mother walks without pain, and also where something between your parents is slightly wrong, slightly distant in a way you cannot name but can feel every time you sit at their table. Two people who never needed each other the way they once did, still together, but different, quietly, permanently different. You go back a third time to fix a decision you made at 23. You turned down a job in another city because it felt too far from home. You always wondered. Now you go back and you take it. The career that follows is the one you always wanted. More money, more purpose, more of the life you imagined for yourself. You return to the present with the job and the apartment and the title on the door. And Marcus is gone. Marcus, who was your closest friend for 11 years, who you met in that city you never moved to, who was standing next to you the night someone tried to rob you at knife point, and who stepped forward without thinking, and who probably saved your life. In this version, you never met him. You have the career. You have no one to call on the nights it feels meaningless. You spend 3 weeks adjusting to the new present before you call your sister. She is 24. She calls you every Sunday. She has your father's eyes and your mother's laugh, and she was born because your parents spent 2 hard years needing each other completely. You call her number. It is disconnected. You drive to her apartment. A parking structure stands where it should be. You go to your parents. They greet you with love. Your mother mentions gently, without knowing it matters, that you were always an only child. She says it the way she would say any true thing. It has always been true. In this version, it always has been. You go home. You open the journal. 4 changes. A father who succeeded but drifted. A mother who healed but disconnected. A friend who never existed. A sister who was never born. All of it purchased with careful, methodical decisions made by someone who believed he understood what he was doing. You did not understand. Nobody could have. The machine is in the garage. The journal is on the table. Outside, a Tuesday continues without knowing what it contains. The door to the garage is 10 steps away. The machine can take you back before all of it. Your father loses his business. Your mother cannot walk. You lose the job. Marcus is alive. Your sister is 24, and she will call on Sunday. Everything broken, everything real, everything yours. Or you leave it. The life in front of you is better by every number you can measure, except the ones that matter most and cannot be measured at all. You sit at the kitchen table for a long time. The garage door is closed. The machine is waiting. You already know what you are going to do. The question is whether you can make yourself do it, and whether the person who makes that choice is still the person you thought you were.